Hello, my name's Terry Kback. I am the author, creator, uh, chef for Imagine Image Multimedia. And today's video, this video right here, is a post-mortem on the video that we did the other day of the map, at least, of the main region of the battlefield of Bull Run, 1st Manassas. So this is a post-mortem on what exactly we learned, things we liked, things we didn't like, and things that we are changing. And immediately, one of the things that we've decided we're going to change is this, the old roster system. Now, there are many other rules out there, and some of them use roster and some don't. We prefer ours to use a roster. The Hex Command Gunpowder, or the Hex Command series, should use a roster because of the accuracy, the fog of war, the hidden nature of it to keep it from other players seeing it, although, admittedly, using on-the-table markers is vastly easier than recording something off screen, off camera, off the game table, keeping it close to your chest kind of thing. So markers on the table has always been a common roster method, but there are issues as we saw in the previous game. One of those issues is the predominance of them. Why are there so many? Well, there's a lot of reasons, and if you've been following Hex Command, you can understand why. The game is accurate for how it records things that happen. Players can always dispense with anything they don't want to bother recording. For instance, one of the common things of not recording are the terrain effects. Just ignore it. Or make the terrain effects work differently based on your flavor or interpretation. Another thing is that instead of recording terrain effects on the units, which is to say, whenever we have a unit that encounters a terrain element going up a hill, into a forest, over a fence or a wall, any terrain element like that, we typically put down or record that event. And units can only do so many before they become exhausted or they become fatigued. So that's why we record them. If those are not recorded, then that leaves out an element of the game that we think adds better flavor. So if you choose not to record those things, you can dispense with one of the game markers. That's fine. But so we have sought ways, and we have used these bingo chips for many years of various colors, marked on one side or at least marked on the other side with a level 2. So the first level, it doesn't have one or a mark or a number 1, and the other side has level 2. And on the third incident, that causes something greater to happen. For instance, for terrain effects, when units encounter their third, that causes them to be to reach a level 1 fatigue. And that has to be worked off over time by standing still. A level 1 fatigue causes units, because they're tired, to have a penalty in combat. So it's never good to have your troops encounter so much terrain that they get fatigued, tired, and are susceptible to the opponent. So if those things are not recorded, things like that are not recorded, that kind of flavor then falls away. So that's why we've decided of all the ways of recording it, the bingo chips were the best solution of various colors. We have, since the other day's game, decided that the old adage, the old ways, might actually, at least insofar as the size of the figure goes, be better. And that is the tiny O-rings. Why? Because the tiny O-rings can be put around excuse me, a figure's rifle, figure's head, They can be put onto the flag of the unit. The O-rings can be easily removed, and most importantly, they travel with the unit. So when the unit moves, it takes the O-rings with it, and they don't easily fall off. When bingo chips are used, or chips of that nature, discs, they have to be carried, moved, and in most cases are cumbersome. That is the reason why marking on the game table is different than marking on a piece of paper when it comes to doing roster. But the round O-rings are probably, and we've got them on order for a test, as if we need to test, because O-rings have been used for millennia on recording hits to figures. When we do receive them, we'll be definitely checking them out, and we've discovered a source that has various colors, and when we get them, we'll test them and start using them right away. So that's what this quick little reminder video is about, the post-mortem. The most important thing learned was this issue of the roster marking on the game table. So we have many other videos in store and games that we are going to be capturing, and I wanted to say thanks to everybody who has been watching and being patient with us as we've gone through these years of journey with Hex Command. And I also want to put a big shout out to the creators of OBS, the software that enables us to have multiple cameras. And I also want to put a big shout out to those companies that are working in video USB microphones and USB cameras. For the most part, we are very happy with the quality of these cameras, and that's what we're talking about. So again, thanks for watching and for bearing with us as we've tried to be succinct, me especially, trying to be succinct in explaining these issues. And we'll come back with more details, highlighting more issues and fun aspects of War Games with Miniatures.